Hey, what's up, folks? It's your favorite sorcerer, really, your Sopex. And I want to talk about magic in this video, but it's probably not going to be the type of magic that you expect. But hear me out. So about 2 weeks ago, I was talking to a friend, and she asked me for advice on how to curse a woman at work. Because she was annoying her whenever she walks past her. There's something that's going to happen. Okay, some argument, some trouble, whatever. So this woman was in my friend's world a big source of stress, and she was like, "Hey, how the fuck do I can get rid of this bitch? I hate her. I want to get rid of her." And I said, "Okay." Just so I understand, what happens when you pass her by and before those arguments happen? And she said nothing. I just walked past her. I said, okay. What do you think as you pass by? What do you think to yourself? And she said, well, I think, oh, this stupid bitch again. Oh, fuck, I hate you. Or, oh, you stupid cunt. Something like that. Some not so nice words. Okay, I said, okay. Well, now imagine people were telepathic. Who would have started that argument? And she said, well, if she could have heard my thoughts, then, well, it's me. It's my fault. I said, okay, there you go, you see. People are not necessarily literally telepathic, but they can read minds to 20 to 30%. Okay, so people can feel the vibe of your thoughts. They can, and that's a form of communication. You know, they can feel, even if the body language doesn't give it away, even if the facial expressions don't give it away, they can feel the frequency of your thoughts. And I mean, if you're more sensitive and all that stuff, if you train your energy body and all that stuff, you can actually hear thoughts. Yes, telepathy is actually not that difficult. It's basically just stilling your mind and, you know, allowing the energy to speak to you. This is also how you communicate with spirits, of course. It's like frequency, it's pressure that triggers a reaction in your energy field. So yes, telepathy is absolutely real. It's actually not that difficult. And when you're a trained magician, of course you're telepathic. You can get that very easily. But even people that have no training in this stuff at all, are not psychic at all, they can tell. You know. So I told her, okay, try this out before you go for a curse, okay? Try this. Next time you see her, ask yourself that question. Like, as you're looking at her, as she's around, ask yourself, what could I like about this person? And if it's really hard to find something, think about, okay, she didn't shit her pants, so she doesn't smell bad. That's something, right? So, and today, she came back and told me, fuck, I have no problems with that woman anymore. No problems. And she tried to do that with other people. And yeah, it had the same effect. So why am I telling you this? Well, first of all, you know, a master of the art of war wins the fight without fighting. Okay? So if you're really interested, if you're such an expert when it comes to war, which you should be, in my opinion. A man should be a warrior and a scholar. But the pen is mightier than the sword, you see. And one interpretation of that would be turning an enemy into a friend is even more powerful and more empowering than destroying the enemy. Think about it. That's the secret of all great empires. They recruit the former enemies. They don't necessarily destroy them. Of course, there are exceptions, the Mongols and all that stuff, but you get what I'm saying. Even the Mongols did that later on. The point is, you know, any kind of conflict that you get into is going to cost you a lot of energy, a lot of attention that could be used in other ways, more intelligently. So, this is actually a better approach, you know. Try to make friends instead of enemies. And use the secret that I just shared with you. You know, another thing that often comes up when I say things like that. It's kind of like a misconception where, let's say, and specifically young tough guys, they're like, they're so alpha. They're like, hey, what? If I give that guy respect, doesn't that mean that my value or my status drops and all that stuff? Well, that's not how it works, actually. It's not how that works, you see. Now, in the physical world, there's scarcity, right? Now, when you have a cake and you give away pieces of your cake, there's less cake. Well, when it comes to non-physical things, that actually applies not. Those that give respect, or those that want respect, have to give respect. And see, when you give respect, you actually become the source of respect in the mental, spiritual, energetic worlds. By giving something away, it gets more. You multiply and you become the source of it. So by giving respect, you get more respect. You see, you become the source of it. It's kind of like abstract, and maybe it's a little bit maybe that goes a little too far. But that's one of the laws of the universe, one of the secrets on how you can dominate the invisible, which eventually lead to domination of the physical, of course, right? But I just wanted to share that with you as food for thought. And as magicians, and in any other situation, even if you're a businessman, if you're whatever you do in your life, no matter what it is, you should be intelligent with how you use your energy. You shouldn't waste it. You should use it where it's necessary, where it isn't. Running against the same wall over and over and over again is not going to cut it. And specifically when it comes to black magic, people are really quick to go nuclear. Left-hand path type of stuff. But, sometimes you're the source of all that problem. And if you can resolve it that easily, do it. And trust me, when I was a young man, my teens, early 20s, I was a very angry young man too. But, as you grow, as you mature, and specifically when you know these things, it's absolutely not necessary anymore. Now, I'm not saying, listen, there are no absolutes in this universe, and there will always be, conflict will always be part of life, okay? And there will be situations in which, yes, going into the offensive absolutely is necessary and makes sense. But most of the time it doesn't. 80-20, 80-20. So this is already magic, believe it or not. Magic is the application of the laws of the invisible world, laws of energy and all that stuff. And this is probably not what you expected, but a very, very valuable tip. Try it out. Believe me, it works. Thank me later. Peace.